Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent, teaching instructor with Internal Revenue Service. Welcome to my YouTube station. I'm laughing today because I'm going to be talking to you about the shit show that's happening next year when IRS issues 1099Ks on Cashapps and Venmo and PayPal and all that. Anyway, welcome to my YouTube station. It's the home of the 5 minute or less video. As a former IRS agent, I worked there for 10 years. I've been in private practice for 4 decades representing people. I have a whole team of former IRS agents. I've worked over 10,000 cases. I'm a national expert. I started this YouTube channel for 3 reasons. To tell you what you really need to know as an insider, to go ahead and educate you as to what's going on, and more importantly, to not have you get ripped off. There's a lot of people on YouTube in this IRS space don't know what the hell they're talking about. Really don't. There's probably about 15% of the people are solid. The other 85%. I'm telling you this because I've been doing this for 50 years. Got to be really careful who you're giving your information and talking to, because there's just a lot of seedy people here on YouTube, and this the tax vertical that I'm in. Today I want to talk to you about what's happening next year with the issuances of the K1 with Venmo and cash apps like that and PayPal. Whether you know it or not, if you get over $600, guess what? You're going to be issued a K1 from the Internal Revenue, from those companies. They're going to send them to IRS, and guess what? IRS is going to have all these K1s, 1099 K1s, and it is going to cause a shit show, shit storm, and I can't even wait to see what happens, because this is going to be a mess. My guess, millions upon millions upon millions of K1s are going to be issued, and my guess, 25% to 50% of those are going to be wrong. So what happens when you get a K1 and that K1 is wrong, because these third-party apps have to go ahead and send this information to IRS? If not, they're going to be fined. So now you're going to have a notice from IRS that you did not report this 1099 information to IRS. You will get those notices starting after you file your tax return, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 months. I don't know if IRS has definitively figured out yet what they're going to do, but you are going to be getting those letters. My guess is over 50% of all Americans, not all American football players, all Americans are going to be getting it. Here's what you have to do. You have to go to the people who sent you the 1099. You have to correct it from there. IRS isn't going to touch them. It's not their job to touch them. It's your job to make sure when you're filling out the information on Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, all that stuff, they have the information. IRS is not going to take a letter from you saying, okay, that's not right. IRS is going to make you go back to these third-party companies and correct the information. Just so you know, if you make money from fantasy football, boom, that's going to be on there too. So make sure you fill out your Venmo and your PayPal and these Cash Apps out correctly. If they're gifts, they're gifts. If they're non-taxable, they need to know they're non-taxable. But if you have a problem, you're going to have to go to those companies and not to the IRS. So you better know that now. It's going to trigger a lot of work for you. It's going to trigger a lot of work for these third-party companies, and it's going to cause a lot of trouble to IRS. Just beware. Just remember, you heard it from me first. Oh, by the way, if this information was good, give me a subscription. I love subscriptions. YouTube loves me to have subscriptions. So if you'd give me one, I appreciate it. Leave me comments, questions you want me to do on YouTube for you. Let me know. Thank you.